Okay, so like I said, she gave me a blouse, and now I'm describing it, and because I'm describing it, it's going to be in the imperfect. And there's my little descriptor word right there. Al día siguiente, the next day, she and I something to the park. Well, this is your clue here, the next day. So that indicates that the thing has started and ended. So this would be preterite, and the preterite for ir in the nosotros form is fuimos. So we went to the park. Something about July 2nd. Well, that probably indicates that we're talking about date, which would be imperfect. And so that would be era el 2 de julio. El clima blank muy bueno. So I'm talking about the weather, and that would also be imperfect. So estaba. All right, so something about having fun on our walk or enjoying our walk in the park when suddenly it started to hail. So first of all, this is an interrupting action. This preterite action is going to interrupt this imperfect action. Hopefully y'all remember that. The other thing I can say is if anything was ing in the past, it's always imperfect. So if you have that ando or yendo, it's going to be imperfect. So estábamos, because it's both of us having fun. Again, estábamos. Both of us were involved. You got to follow this story to know who's involved here. So estábamos disfrutando nuestra caminata en el parque cuando de repente empezó a caer granizo. We didn't start to hail. It started to rain. Or excuse me, hail. And that's why it's empezó and not empezamos. All right, and that is the preterite because it's an interrupting action of that imperfect action. And again, it started to hail right here to start. If I'm going to talk about my wonderful little list here again, then I'm going to put empezar on that. Again, all of these can be used in the imperfect, but most likely they're preterite. So moving right along. Blank y blank a un café muy rápidamente. So, okay, that's a typo. That should say correr. So what did we do? We ran, right? Not we were running. That sounds like a leisurely jog in the hail. We ran. So corrimos. Y entramos a un café muy rápidamente. So even though that ends in mente, that means quickly, and that indicates that something happened and it happened quickly. So entramos. Allí blank a dos chicos guapos. So conocimos or conocíamos. Well, again, think about it. If I'm going to talk about meeting someone, how many times do you meet them? You meet them once and it's over with, right? So it's an action that started and finished. So conocimos. Again, I think conocer is a really good preterite verb. So we met two cute boys whose names were Pedro and Beto. And whenever you're talking about names, you're always going to use the imperfect. So se llamaban. If you want to think about it, they were always called Pedro and Beto. If anything, that's a description, right? It's their name is a description of who they are, so that's going to be imperfect. So se llamaban Pedro y Beto. Creo que blank un día suerte. I think it was a lucky day. It was a lucky day, and I'm describing the day as lucky, so it's era. And there you go. Buena suerte to y'all. See you at test. See you at test. Who watched until the very end and heard that? All right, bye.